lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to one of the most iconic motor speedways we have here in the States, Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the ECR NextGen League, as they get ready to tackle the bricks. This is going to be the ECR Throwback, presented by Southern Alliance Racing. Southern Alliance Racing had an outstanding run last week, with Dwayne Furtick bringing home the victory after the Monster Mile had chewed up several cars on that hot track. With that restart, has just been doing numbers. Tyler Burton wound up having the short end of the stick as far as the Eliminator Challenge goes. Last week We were down towards the end here as Tristan Bailey spun the tires, got kind of put back in the pack, kind of had a rough go of it last week. Looking to rebound this week as he was one of the faster drivers in practice. Tyler Burton, Doug Denise are the drivers taking part in the final race for the Eliminator Challenge and those all-important 6 playoff points that are going to be awarded at the end of the regular season. But that is last week. This week, though, these guys are getting ready to take on the track here. Let's bring up the weather right now, and qualifying not too bad, 72 degrees. It is early morning. Colin Bollinger sitting on the provisional pole. Andrew Chapman out on track making laps as we speak here. First lap put him at P10 with a 51.39. See if he can go any faster this next time by. Yeah, 47, a little bit slower that time. So it looks like the first lap might be the best lap that they get. Looks like everybody has qualified that's going to. Looks like Bradley Rivers jumped in the session, but was feeling a little bit under the weather. Decided to park it for tonight, take that provisional, and live to fight another day here. So that is going to put Colin Bollinger back on the pole. That is going to give him, well, it's only his second pole of the year. I thought he had more. He has been running up front in a lot of races. He's got 5 wins. Tristan Bailey has 5, and Dwayne Furtick also has 5. Couldn't bring up the points real quick, see where we're sitting at the moment. Tristan Bailey, Dwayne Furtick, Tyler Burton, all the guys pretty well safe and sound here as we come through the end of the regular season. The guys you need to watch are going to be down at that 12 point mark there, 12th place mark. Ryan McCall, Aaron Miller, Kent Mueller, those guys are the drivers that are going to be looking to get some points here tonight and try and improve themselves and set themselves up for a run at the championship. These guys are gridding, so let's see what the weather is going to be like here at the start of our race. 81 degrees. Looks like track temperature is a little warm here, but it is in the evening, 5 p.m. to be exact here in sim time. Go trackside real quick. Yep, these guys have got in their rides. So Colin Bollinger is going to start on the pole. John Osborne just to his outside. Dwayne Furtick and Adam Bowden back there in row 2. Row 3, Tyler Burton and Tristan Bailey. Aaron Miller with Kyle Diaz just to his outside, rolling off in row 4. Row 5, Ryan McCall and Andrew Chapman. Michael Carter and Jonathan Cogswell make up row number 6. Row 7, Doug Denise, Aaron Spear. Kane Lee and Pete Walsh make up row 8. Row 9, Justin Hendry and Anthony Ludi. Gary Nash and Kent Mueller are going to be the final drivers in the field tonight. As I said, Bradley Rivers is not going to take part. Wish him speedy recovery as they get ready to roll. It is a pretty flat track. Basically 0 banking down the straightaways. And only 9 degrees in the corners. It is set up a little different than most of the oval tracks you'll see here, as they have basically 4 straightaways and 4 independent corners. Bollinger getting up there. You see drivers warming up their tires, getting ready to set them free once we make the turn here into the front stretch. Got this short stretch here and then back to the front straightaway. Pace car will make that left-hand turn. And we will be racing here at Indy. Pace car is in. Colin Bollinger with the field in his control. They head down to that restart zone, and we are green flag in the throwback presented by Southern Alliance Racing. Colin Bollinger gets a pretty good jump coming down the straightaway. Dwayne Furtick staying right with him. And just as I say that, Bollinger gets a huge run. Has almost 2 car lengths now on John Osborne. Dwayne Furtick back to third as he slides in behind. We've got some battling going back here mid-pack. Jonathan Cogswell, Ryan McCall, Michael Carter all battling here. Second lap completed, or first lap completed at Indy. Drivers you need to watch too for that all-important bracket challenge are highlighted blue in the tower there on the left. Tyler Burton has been one of the favorites. Doug Denise came in at that P12 mark. They took the top 12 drivers in the point standings, put them in an eliminator challenge, and Doug Denise, yes, he started towards the bottom, but he's been able to survive in advance, and now he is looking to win this eliminator challenge. Tyler Burton hoping to get a few more bonus points stuck in his bank for when that chase starts. Fastest man on the track right now is running P2, and that is John Osborne at 52.54 for his second lap through. Bollinger was out to almost a second lead, but Osborne has reeled him in, now almost down to a half second. I think Tristan Bailey's trying to looks like he's just getting passed there by Andrew Chapman. Andrew Chapman, fastest or biggest mover so far, up 4 spots, running P6 after starting just outside that top 10. When we were at Atlanta, Andrew Chapman was one of the only drivers that was able to get that side draft working, and as long as it was just by himself, he could get that high line working and just draft himself towards the front. But as soon as he lost any sort of momentum or somebody tried to help, didn't come to him there. The 26 of Kyle Diaz goes down to the inside, tries to get 2 for 1 there as he slides up behind Aaron Miller. I said before, Aaron Miller, one of those drivers sitting right on that bubble. Adam Boughton not having a good run so far. He is down 5 positions, but I don't think that's something to worry about too much, as he's probably saving some tires, and we'll see some drivers be able to make little runs here and there. Some drivers using them up early and some saving them and hoping for a longer green flag run. ECR has been here one time before, and that was last year. And Dwayne Furtick, driver of that 51 Chevy, was able to bring home the victory. What's going on down here? Ryan McCall on the high side. Cogswell down on the bottom. All able to clear. Michael Carter bringing back that Kyle Busch Interstate Batteries theme there. Back up front, and Bollinger's able to start to gap Osborne again. Now almost 8/10. Valvoline Chevy of John Osborne trying to close in here. When we started the bracket challenge, he was sitting in first place, didn't have any wins, but he had the most consistent start to the season I think I've seen anybody have, and he was able to take that and take the points lead. Furtick changing up the paint scheme from the Papaya 200 last week. Got chromed out Dell on the hood. Definitely a driver to watch. We are running 70% fuel. 4 sets of tires laying in the pits. Ryan McCall might have bounced off the wall there. It was Kyle Diaz. It was Ryan McCall, as he's lost a lot of ground there. Side by side he goes with Cogswell. Cogswell on the inside. Still side by side. Cogswell will just barely clear him. Aaron Miller sporting a new paint scheme as well. Chromed out Affleck. Definitely possible there. I believe Doug Denise Designs there is the man who painted that number 10 Toyota. Currently running P12 up one spot. That 40 Toyota running fairly well from what it looks like here. We can jump into the cockpit, see how he's piloting that number 40 machine. Indy is one of the harder tracks to drive, I do believe, just because it's so flat in the corners and you can get up to so much speed down the front and back straightaways. They get almost to 200 miles an hour before they have to back it down, heading off into turn number 1. Tyler Burton looks like he's got a Jeff Gordon scheme there. We're almost out to a second lead now. Almost identical lap times there for Bollinger and Osborne. Wayne Furtick starting to feel a little pressure there from the 06 of Tyler Burton. Looks like Gary Nash coming down pit lane. Kane Lee starting to close the gap on Aaron Spear. Adam Boughton still back there in 15th position. Dropped a few places, but still hanging on. Gary Nash joining the track as a Dale Jr. last ride scheme on that 88 machine. Christian Bailey starting to see Aaron Miller a little bit closer in his rearview mirror. Miller was looking to the inside. Thought a little bit better of it. There's some damage there. No. Just the paint scheme there on that Affleck. Or maybe had a little damage there to that right side. Chapman trying to break the draft of Bailey. The drivers do that quite a bit. Go clear out to the... Oh! Like 3 or 4 drivers right in a row hit that outside wall. Coming off of turn number 1 there. Ludi making the pass on Justin Hendry. Tristan Bailey still feeling the pressure. Aaron Miller's been running fairly consistent, staying, around that 10th position spot all season as far as averages go. We're a quarter of the way through here in the ECR Throwback presented by Southern Alliance Racing. Southern Alliance Racing is the driver of the 51, Dwayne Furtick, Gary Nash in the 88, Justin Hendry in the 85, and Kane Lee in the 38. So Dwayne Furtick carrying the banner there for Southern Alliance. They're sitting second in the team championship to Revolution Motorsports. Imagine we should be getting close to green flag pit stops. Running only 70% fuel. Back through the field here. Oh, Bollinger running P1. Osborne back into second. Dwayne Furtick into third. That's where they qualified. That's where they're running. Tyler Burton up one spot running P4. Andrew Chapman Biggest mover of the race, up 5 spots, running just inside that top 5. Tristan Bailey, Aaron Miller, and Kyle Diaz, 6th, 7th, and 8th, just as they qualified. Jonathan Cogswell up 3 spots, running P9, and Ryan McCall rounds out that top 10 in a Rapid Fire Pizza number 90 Chevy. After brushing the wall a couple times, he has got something moving in the right direction. Doug Denise has some work to do if he wants to bring home this Elimination Challenge Championship. Got Aaron Spear running in P12, Kane Lee 13th. Both drivers up 2 spots, and now it looks like Adam Boughton is slowly beginning to work his way back through the field. I think he's improved a couple spots since we last checked on in that 94 Tide Toyota. His last lap time was almost half a second faster than the leader. Colin Bollinger ran a 53.28, and Adam Boughton ran a 52.79. Michael Carter back in 15th, down 4 spots. Anthony Ludi up 2, running P16 in that 95 Toyota. Justin Hendry right where he started. Pete Walsh down a couple spots. Kent Mueller and Gary Nash rounds out the field. Gary Nash is the only driver to come down. Well, come down recently. He came down on lap 14. Kent Mueller was also down on lap 6 and spent 6 seconds in his pit box. And Mueller is going to shortly be seeing the 53 Toyota of Colin Bollinger in his rearview mirror as he gets to that lap traffic there. Osborne has definitely lost some ground. He is over 2 seconds back as Dwayne Furtick looks to the inside, going to try and make the pass on that 81 Chevy. Not quite able to do that. Who else is getting ready to pass? Looks like we got a little action back here in 7th and 8th. Kyle Diaz, Aaron Miller, and Tristan Bailey all staying relatively close together. Looks like they're trying to break that draft up just a little bit. Dwayne Furtick pulls down, tries to go to the inside of that 81 machine, just can't quite get inside of him. And pit stops are beginning to commence. Justin Hendry coming in. Dwayne Furtick was able to make the pass on Osborne. Anybody else pulls off right there. Leader in. Bollinger in. Aaron Miller, Kyle Diaz, Cogswell, Kane Lee, Aaron Spear, all coming down pit lane. Dwayne Furtick, Tyler Burton, John Osborne, Andrew Chapman, Tristan Bailey, Ryan McCall, Doug Denise, Adam Boughton, and Anthony Ludi all stay out. Looks like this is definitely going to be a two-stop race as everybody's coming in on lap 30. Or by lap 30. Tyler Burton staying out one more lap. Tristan Bailey also staying out. Everybody locked him up trying to get in pit lane. Osborne and Chapman might have a little bump in there. Tyler Burton going to come in. Tristan Bailey going to follow suit. Bollinger came down, spent 16 and almost 16 and a half seconds in his box. And he should cycle to the lead momentarily. And he ran the fastest lap of the race with 52.47. After making that pit stop. Kyle Diaz ran his fastest lap. Oh, Michael Carter. That 18 Interstate Batteries Toyota with the 52.47 as well. The gap between Bollinger and Burdick is 2.5 seconds. And Kit Mueller coming down pit lane. With that being said and all the pit stops complete, we're going to step aside real quick, pay some bills, and we'll be back after this. You're watching the ECR Throwback, presented by Southern Alliance Racing on Sim Racing Media. Welcome back, everybody. Didn't miss anything while we were away. We're watching the ECR Throwback presented by Southern Alliance Racing here on Sim Racing Media. Mike Timoni up in the booth as always on Saturday night. Go ahead and run through the field real quick. Colin Bollinger has led every jump of this race in that 53 Toyota. Looking pretty good. Andrew Chapman, while we were away, took advantage of his pit stop and is up 8 spots, running P2 right now. Dwayne Furtick in that 51 Chevy is running P3. Kyle Diaz up 4 spots in that 26 Ford. Hanging on to P4. Osborne down a couple spots, running in P5. Jonathan Cogswell, 84 Ford, up 6 spots, running P6 right now. Aaron Miller trying to battle to stay inside of that top 12 in points, running P7 right now. Ryan McCall, man, he's battling right behind him, up 1 spot, running P8. Doug Denise, currently sitting in a fairly decent spot, needs to stay in front of the 06 of Tyler the Demon Burden back there in 11th. Kristen Bailey will split those two, running P10. Aaron Spear back there in P12, up a couple spots. Adam Boughton in 13th. Michael Carter, Interstate Batteries 18 Toyota, running 14th. Anthony Ludi up 3 spots, running 15th. Justin Hendry up a spot, running 16th. Pete Walsh, Gary Nash, and Kane Lee are the remaining drivers of the 19 that started the race tonight. Andrew Chapman running just a couple tenths faster than Dwayne Furtick. Was able to make that work and get by, and he is slowly closing the gap on Colin Bollinger. Bollinger was out to over a 2-second lead. Now it is down to 1.5 with Andrew Chapman. Andrew Chapman splitting Bollinger and Dwayne Furtick by about the same margin, about a 1.5 seconds back to Furtick. And then Furtick has Kyle Diaz trying to catch him with Osborne and Cogswell pretty close by. This second group here is starting to try and close in. Halfway through here. Have one more pit stop we will have to make. Drivers pitted between 27 and 29 laps, with Bailey and Burden making it closer to that 29 lap mark. Ooh, got loose into that outside wall. Lord, here as he tries to close that gap once again. Pretty close to that outside wall. Trying to get by Ryan McCall, just can't quite do it. It's going to lose some ground. Tristan Bailey going to try and pull off into the inside. Doug Denise slams the door on the 9. Bailey can't be too happy about that. He had a pretty good run down to the inside and just had all that air just blocked right on top of him. Aaron Spear coming down pit lane right now. And up in front, Dwayne Furtick. Looks like he might be having a little bit of an issue, or just maybe not pushing that car as hard as he was before, as Kyle Diaz is able to get by. John Osborne, Jonathan Cogswell all get by Furtick as well. See anything happen to Furtick? Let's see if we can take a look around that machine. I think it might be just getting a little loose. Aaron Miller's going to get a run down on the inside. Can't quite get there. Ryan McCall going to pull down to the inside even. He is going to clear off. Tristan Bailey keeps trying to stick his nose down inside of that 40. Just can't quite do it. Aaron Miller's going to get by down on the inside, side by side with Dwayne Furtick. Furtick holding his line on that high side. Doug Denise slides up in front of Tristan Bailey. Tristan Bailey drives down to the bottom. And he's going to try and get by 3 wide. Denise in the middle. Still 3 wide. Tristan Bailey down on the bottom. Denise in the middle with Miller on the high side. Bailey gets by, and he had enough of that 40 machine. Aaron Miller loses a little bit of time as he gets put behind the 40. Dwayne Furtick loses a spot there to Tristan Bailey. Halliburton still has not been able to get by the 40 yet. Looked like he was going to try, but when it was 3 wide, he elected to back off just a little bit. Didn't want to get caught up in anybody else's mess here. Back up towards the front. About a 1.5-second gap between Kyle Diaz and Andrew Chapman. Chapman's closing the gap on Bollinger. Bollinger is now just over a second lead. Aaron Miller looks like he's gonna be sent down pit lane. Let's see if we can see what happened real quick. Oh, Bailey gets into him just a little bit. Looks like he has it set. Oh, and then he just tried to stay there. And send Aaron Miller down pit lane. Bollinger now has lap traffic up in front of him. Kane Lee just got put a lap down real quick. Getting closer to that 50 lap mark here. I don't think you can make it to the end at this moment in time. Looks like Aaron Miller staying down there for an extended period of time. Probably did some damage there. Aaron Miller on and off pit lane. Came out basically almost right where he was before. Gap now under a second to Andrew Chapman. Valdez having to deal with Kane Lee. Osborne losing a little bit of time. Cogswell back there in 5th. McCall back in 6th. You have Bailey, and then you have a gap back to Denise, Furtick, and Burden. Have some sights and sounds of the track, and back in just a moment here. These guys have some action on track. All right, let's see what we have going on track. It's still about 8-10 second of a lead for Bollinger over Chapman. If anybody tries to do a little short pit to take advantage here and see if they can get some track position. Right now, Bollinger with his fastest lap of the race with a 52.44, and his last lap was a 52.88. So tire fall off is not really being an issue as of yet. Down the front stretch on board with Colin Bollinger. He's coming up on the back of Kent Mueller. Bollinger looking for his 6th win of the season. Only 8 different drivers have won out of the previous 20 races we have run. Justin Hendry coming in. He pitted a little early last time as well. I think if you're mid-pack, you probably want to come down sometime soon, because you can make it to the end. We try a little bit different strategy, because if you are on the same strategy as Colin Bollinger, I don't think there's any way you're going to be able to come out of here with a victory. Bollinger's just been too dominant here today. Kyle Diaz coming in, locks him up, hitting pit lane. We have 3 races until we have the cutoff for the chase start with the 12 drivers. So this one and 3 more, and you got to figure out where you want to be and how you have to get there. We got Pocono, Michigan, and then iRacing Super Speedway. After having 3 off weeks thrown in the middle, take the last part of August off. Colin Bollinger coming in, so you're going to try something different. A little too late unless you're going to try and run it as far as you can. 25 laps to go here in the ECR Throwback, presented by Southern Alliance Racing. And everybody else coming in. Kyle Diaz in the vet to track 26 forward. Pitted 1 lap before Colin Bollinger. Going to try and take advantage of that and stay with him here, as he is now a half second back. Made up a little bit of track position here, so we'll see if he's going to be able to close it out. Burden and Doug Denise both came down pit lane at the exact same time, so that's going to be a tight battle there for the winner of the Eliminator Challenge. Oswald making some passes on some drivers still on pit exit. He's going to get in front of all of those. Ryan McCall, Doug Denise, Dwayne Furtick, Tyler Burden back there. .24 laps to go, and everybody is pretty much single filed out for the most part. Trying to find a little bit of action on track, and there just isn't much to find. Tyler Burden needs to get by Dwayne Furtick and Doug Denise to make it to the front. And Colin Bollinger just put his foot down one more time. He went a 52.09 fastest lap of the race. .23 laps to go.
Last time ECR was here, Dwayne Furtick pretty much dominated the race, led 54 laps on his way to victory. And the lap times last time were way faster. Well, Tristan Bailey, fastest lap of the race, 51.97. Only driver to be into the 51s. He is just trying to hold on to the coattails there of Colin Bollinger. With all the drivers single filed out, we're going to step aside one more time. Got a couple bills, and we'll be right back after this. All right, quick commercial break, and we are back here for the finish of the ECR Throwback presented by Southern Alliance Racing. Colin Bollinger putting on a clinic so far, leading almost all of the laps tonight. The laps he didn't lead was after he made his pit stops. Kyle Diaz up to second, running almost a second behind. Andrew Chapman a second back as well. John Osborne running in P4. Tristan Bailey up to P5. Cogswell, Ryan McCall 6th and 7th. And now we have a battle brewing between two drivers in the Eliminator Challenge, Doug Denise and Tyler Burden. 3/4 of a second separate these drivers on track. Doug Denise entered as the 12th man, and he is looking to leave with those all-important bonus points. lap on board. Let's see how Colin Bollinger is holding off Kyle Diaz. On that final short stretch. Be 15 to go when he gets to the line. Check on this battle here. 2/10 is all that separated him now, as Tyler Burton has been able to close that gap. Looks like Burton might have got a little loose there. Doug Denise still holding off that 06 machine. He's trying to get those bonus points. Got Kent Mueller's down on the inside. Slow car on track. Kind of taking the preferred line away from the 40 and the 06. Dwayne Furtick able to get by as well. Bollinger has just checked out. Again, he is out to almost a second lead now. Diaz was able to keep up for a couple laps, but now he is losing time with every lap. Aaron Miller going to get lapped again here. Aaron Miller coming down pit lane. Kind of got forced down there early in the race, and that kind of set him up for where he is at now. $12 to go from Indianapolis. Nobody really Gary Nash just in front of the leader. Gonna let Bollinger have the inside line. He's going to stay up high. Diaz trying to close in. Going to slide up behind Nash. Going to go to the inside and make the pass. Gap is still about the same for Denise and Burton. Looks like Burton got a little loose, almost got into that outside wall. 10 laps to go here in the throwback. Chapman, Osborne, and Bailey are the top 5. Verdict not hanging on too well either. Mountain back there in 11th. Ooh. Gary Nash hard off the wall right in front of Osborne. Osborne had to take evasive action, going to slow him down. Kristen Bailey able to get by. Nash trying to stay out of the way and hit the wall right in front of him. Nothing he could do there. Osborne able to take evasive action, maintain his place almost. Bollinger takes 7 to go. Osborne hanging on for P5 after that. Cogswell coming up on Nash as well. Having a battle here with the bracket or the eliminator challenge. Tyler Burton looked like he was going to try and pull out and make the pass on Doug Denise. Couldn't quite do it. And it is going to come down to these final few laps. All about the bonus points here tonight for these two drivers. Nash staying out of the way again. Chapman and Bailey going to start mixing up here as well, coming down the backstretch. Bailey gets a run down on the inside, going to try and hug the bottom. Chapman staying up there high. Side by side they come down the front stretch. Bailey on the inside, Chapman on the outside. Bailey takes that spot. Chapman going to try and battle back down on the inside. Bailey gets loose. Chapman back by on the inside. 4 laps to go. Battling for second. Caution is out. Kyle Diaz. Kyle Diaz crashed and went around, and that is going to restack the field here with 4 laps to go. So we are definitely in green-white checkered territory here tonight. If we can see what happened to Kyle here. Oh, just got loose. Tried to save it, inside, outside, all around. Trying to get a stop on the track to jump to the pits, just not enough time. And that is going to bring out the caution. Go back and see if we can take a look, see what happened here. Get Gary Nash here. Gary Nash gets loose, slides up into the wall, bounces off the wall. I mean, nothing really he could do. He was, lane and a half high. Osborne comes in carrying way more speed than Nash. And that is going to cause Osborne having to check up. Going to cost him a place. And the guy who didn't want to see that is the leader here, the 53 of Colin Bollinger. So I'd assume everybody's going to come down and pit, and they all are. There was a little mind games being played there for a minute, but like everybody decided to make their way down pit lane. Pit lane. So we'll stack them back up here. 3 cars in front of Bollinger are going to take the wave around. Osborne spent an extended amount of time in his pit lane. Almost a minute in his box. Be picking sides momentarily. Wave around cars get rolling. Bollinger, Bailey, Chapman, McCall, Burden, Burdick, Carter, Boughton, Cogswell, and Denise are the top 10. That caution definitely helped out Tyler Burden as he is now running P5. Doug Denise back in P10. So lots of room here for that 06 machine. So here we go. The final 2 laps to decide the winner here of the ECR Throwback, presented by Southern Alliance Racing. Pace car's going to make that left-hand turn. Colin Bollinger is going to lead him on down here. It's set to hit restart zone, and we are green flag racing. Colin Bollinger, fairly decent run there. Tristan Bailey going to try and come down and side draft just a little bit here to maintain his position. Chapman staying right on him, going to send Bollinger into Bailey, and around they go. No caution is out. No caution at all. Andrew Chapman drove it in deep, and that is not the way you wanted to end this race. Michael Carter up to second. Andrew Chapman hanging on for third. Tyler Burden gets clear away from everybody. White flag is out. Tyler Burden takes the white flag. Michael Carter back behind him. Andrew Chapman, Jonathan Cogswell, Colin Bollinger. Colin Bollinger just to the inside of Andrew Chapman. Wayne Furtick going to try and push down by. Has a little help there from Adam Boughton. There is just a cluster back here, but Tyler Burden is going to win the Throwback, presented by Southern Alliance Racing. Michael Carter, Jonathan Cogswell round out the top 3. Colin Bollinger cannot be happy with the 25, and I know Tristan Bailey is definitely not. Hometown boy brings home the victory here. Tyler Burton going to burn it down here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He burns it down. Let's see if we can. We can take a look here. Final restart here. I feel like Bollinger might have got just a little loose too. See if we can get the 84 machine up here in the booth. Jonathan Cogswell. Hey, Jonathan, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Oh, pretty cool.
Well, it looked like you were going to be back there in 5th or 6th for a little while. That caution came out and kind of reset the field a little bit, and you were able to bring home a P3. How was it out there racing there at Indianapolis?
It's fun. It's my home track. I just pretty much concentrated on driving the track, and turned out well for me.
Yeah, I definitely did. Haven't had a chance to talk to you all season, but congrats on your P3. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Well, thank Elite Racing for letting me race with these guys, and thank you for broadcasting. And it's great to be on podium. I really need. I was in 11th place, and I really need this to solidify myself going into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely a couple more races left to go, and we'll see if we can see you in the chase there.
I'll be there.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your P3 finish, and we'll see if we can talk to you next week.
Can't wait.
Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. How about you?
Well, not too bad. Little late race caution there, kind of reset the field, and had a little shootout there for the finish. You're able to work your way through a little bit of traffic there at the end and incidents to get a top 2. How was it racing out there, and how was it getting through there?
Dirty air was tough for us. Felt like we were just stuck 12th to 14th all night. And then, like I said, that late race caution came out. We decided to kind of throw a Hail Mary, put 2 tires on it, and ended up with a lot more grip than I thought. Felt a whole lot better up front.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that the drivers who were able to get that track position kind of didn't lose it anywhere, and you were able to take advantage there in the late stages. How are you feeling about the rest of the season here with a few races left before the chase?
Feeling pretty good. We've got some work to do, to get up there and compete top 5. But feeling pretty good. That's pretty good tracks coming up for us toward the end of the year.
Definitely, man. Well, anybody you want to thank before we get you out here tonight?
Just a big shout out to RMS, all my teammates, and you guys. Appreciate what y'all do for us.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your 2nd place finish, and we'll see if we can talk to you next week.
All right. Yes, sir. Look forward to it.
All right. Now, get to the man of the hour, taking advantage of that late race caution. Tyler, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
It's going. Does my mic sound better this week? And it's not like cutting out?
Yeah, it definitely sounds a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you loud and clear now. Looked like you and Doug there were going to battle for quite a while for that Eliminator championship win or whatever. Challenge win there, but that late race caution looks like you were able to. Looks like you probably took 2 tires and were able to get that track position and kind of solidify that, and then you're able to race for the win after that late race incident.
Yeah. I think you guys said I said something about it to Dwayne last week, where I'm just so aggravated with the way that these next gen cars are. They're so aero dependent, and once you cut the air off, it's like it doesn't really matter what you do. Like there's just nothing. Like the car doesn't turn, doesn't do anything. It just becomes a dump truck. And that's pretty much the way it was. Is you had just a bubble that you couldn't break, and I could get runs down the straightaway, and yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know that it was going to happen, and I was just kind of looking at, well, this is the way it's going to end, and all of a sudden I heard John in the team chat say, "Oh, something just happened to Kyle," and we were waiting on a caution, and the caution waited and waited and waited, and just as I was getting ready to pass it, that's when it came out. But yeah, like you said, I came down, took 2 tires, and everybody in the team chat was like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, I'm just gonna take 2 and hope I've got enough glue that it'll stick. So, but went into turn 1. I didn't think it was sticking good enough, and I'm like, well, I just threw it away. And I guess Colin got real loose, and I hate it for Tristan and all them. And then I made a run. I had such a run down that backstretch and got Andrew, and I just tried to run away as best I could. I actually wasn't driving the corners as hard as I could after we went into turn 1, and it kind of slid up. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it definitely looked like that was the call almost everybody made from up here, and then after seeing Colin get a little loose, almost like he almost stopped after the corner there because he just got so loose, didn't want to get into Tristan, and then got a little bump there from Chapman and kind of sent everybody back. But you were able to work your way through and come out on top with another victory. How are you feeling about the championship run this year?
I think we're looking pretty good. We're pretty stoked on it. I'm real excited about this. This week's been pretty good to me. I put in for a job on first shift. They told me I got that, and just to get this hometown Indianapolis win. I've grown up going to the racetracks, Lucas Oil. You know, my dad used to pull me out of school early to go watch the Night of Fire over at Lucas Oil, the drag strip, and me and my buddies used to go down to the oval track down there too and watch all kinds of stuff. And my uncle would take me down here to Indy for the 500 and the Brickyard whenever he could. And I sit, normally when my uncle comes here, we sit about probably about 5 to 10 rows up behind the flag stand here. So yeah, this is awesome. I've grown up loving this track and being around this track. This is just great for me. I can't explain how happy I am. I want them to bring the buttermilk out.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again. Anybody else you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Yeah. In case anyone didn't know, I ran the paint scheme that Gordon won the inaugural Brickyard 400. So I guess I'll give a shout out to Gordon. He was my driver growing up. Chris at Rowdy Designs, he made this car for me. My mom and dad, everyone that's been involved with me and racing, Humanities 101. Get on TikTok, look up Humanities 101, or just go to their website. They've got a lot of good information about autism and neurodivergence and disabilities like that. Because there's if you're an autistic person, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not a broken person. If you have ADHD, you're not a broken person. Your brain's just a little different from everyone else. And I have ADHD myself, and it just makes it kind of hard to focus at times. But when you focus up, man, you can do some wild things. Who else do I got? All the Eon guys. Unfortunately, like I said, I hate it for Tristan. We've seen our fair share of issues in these races. And all the guys at Eons. Unfortunately, again, Stan wasn't able to join us. His game had to update. So, but yeah. Me and John put in some work last night. I think, what was it? I ran 154 laps in practice because I wanted this, and I'm just so happy to get it.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again, and we'll see what you can do when the playoffs roll around.
All right, thanks, guys.
Well, that was the race winner. With that, let's see if we can go over the race results. Tyler Burton with the win. Michael Carter, Jonathan Cogswell, the top three. Ryan McCall looking to help his case for the chase. Andrew Chapman in fifth. Doug Denise finishes inside the top 10 in a P6, just not quite good enough to get those 6 bonus points for that Eliminator challenge, guys. Dwayne Furtick with the 7th. Adam Boughton battles back for P8. Colin Bollinger gets a 9th after getting loose on the final laps. John Osborne comes in with a top 10 after having a little race incident late in the race. Anthony Ludi, Kent Mueller, Pete Walsh, Justin Hendry, Kristen Bailey brings home a P15 after final lap incident. Kane Lee, Aaron Miller, and Gary Nash. And we have one more driver, Kyle Diaz and Aaron Spear round out the field of drivers that took part tonight. Well, with that, we're going to pack it up and going to head to Pocono next week. We got the big 2-mile track of Indianapolis. Then we head to the Tricky Triangle before heading back to the Great Lakes in Michigan. Those are the next 3 races before we take 3 weeks off and wrap up the field of 12 for the chase. But from all the drivers of the ECR NextGen League and all of us here at Sim Racing Minute, I want you guys a good night. We'll see you next time.